Looking for Ice by Bobby Grace. What you writing about today, Bobby? My buddy Dave had stopped by. I was pouring sweat in the tropical heat, hunched over the keyboard. Normal day. Dave is a big, mighty partying man. There was an iced glass of rum and orange juice in each meaty fist. I was hoping one of those sweating iced beauties was mine. Just fucking around, I said. He handed me a juice. Looked like you needed some vitamins. Dave's got blue eyes. He was wearing a high-dollar, high-end Hawaiian shirt over some ragged-ass swimming trunks he must have gotten on a dumpster dive in Haiti about 12 years ago. Probably couldn't hurt, I said, liberating one of the iced beauties from his bare paw of a hand. Who was I to argue? Dave has been here a lot longer than I have. I figured he knew a thing or two about the tropical regimen for breakfast vitamins. Looking for ice? I asked. I've read that a man spends about a third of his life sleeping. Dave spends at least another third looking for ice. I get it. We're both solteros, bachelors. A guy needs a reason to get out of the boat. Yeah, he said. Good thing you found a couple of glasses of it to tide us over, I said. Dave has been talking about putting some kind of refrigeration in his boat since I got here. He speculates that his life would be better if he eliminated his terminal ice mission. What the hell would he do with that third of his life then, is my question. Thanks for breakfast, I said. Most important meal of the day. I had them use the gluten-free rum, he said. Seriously, what are you writing about? I looked down, saw what I'd been mindlessly whacking away at, and read. It is a way better idea to remove chewing gum from the blister pack before you get high. Huh, Dave said as his eyes slid over the mangled blister pack and gum shrapnel. Probably was the 11th commandment there for a while, before Moses lost it somewhere in the desert. Ah, I said in Kekchi, upward inflection. I have no worries about Dave. He's fluent in Kekchi. I've seen him grunt his way through a whole evening drinking with our vecinos. His vocabulary of hand signs and facial contortions is unmatched among the river gringos. We spent a few easy minutes listening to Waylon Jennings playing Loving Her Was Easier. Well, if they'd have known what we were thinking, they'd have run us out of Lincoln, Dave said when Waylon yielded the stage. Dave is one of the few guys I know who can quote John Prine. He had a point. I stayed quiet, thought about a few days I'd spent in Nebraska with a Carolina brunette in another life, savored the cold sweat of the iced glass. Blame it on that old crazy bone, I said, just to show him I was conversant in Prine as well. Geisha didn't have any ice. Geisha is the matriarch of one of the neighborhood tiendas, a woman of fair humor and a generally dependable purveyor of ice. She, along with Pedro Pan, literally Peter Pan, has produced the most plentiful single crop of beautiful daughters in the Aldea. Of their 13 children, at least 9 are girls of various ages, all of stunning beauty or soon to be. Just enough to keep the beer cold, he said. I grunted agreement. Good thing, I said. Geisha's is a family tienda. It would be considered rude to simply jet in, ask for ice, and when learning of its unavailability, jet right the heck back off again, without having a little conversation. Maybe about how's the family, or where to get crocodile eggs or something. Cultura y costumbres is the way they say it here. Culture and customs. Here a neighbor is expected visit for a minute when stopping at the tienda. Besides, looking for ice can be thirsty work in the tropics. In our Aldea, we have arrived at a comfortable, cross-cultural minimum common visit metric, CVM, the time it takes to drink one beer. For those more mathematically oriented, it would look something like this. 1 beer equals 1 CVM, common visit metric. Less than 1 CVM equals rude. Therefore, less than 1 beer equals rude. There is a theoretical maximum CVM that, due to some quirk of quantum physics, allows a CVM greater than the maximum CVM to equal a CVM less than the minimum, where both equal the value, rude. X, where X is the theoretical variable, beer equals rude equals X greater than CVM max equals X less than CVM min. Well, that's how Dave and I figured it out one afternoon anyway. Results may vary from Aldea to Aldea. We don't really miss television around here. How goes the search for truth and beauty? I asked, savoring the way the glass drew the heat from my palm. A pause. Fucking Diogenes. He was a narcissistic pessimist, Dave said. I communed with the icy citrus, waited. I had both time and curiosity, not to mention the fresh rum and juice. First, Diogenes was looking for one honest man, right? Uh-huh, I agreed. I don't remember which language I used. Unlike you and I who are searching for truth and beauty. Right, so he declares right off that he will search the world over, the whole fucking world over, mind you, to find just one honest man. He didn't expect to find one real soon, did he? A guy's got to figure. Diogenes came up around a lot of dishonest motherfuckers to believe he's got to search the whole freaking world over to find one honest motherfucker. Am I right? I said. You've got a point. Doesn't sound like Diogenes expected to find a dude just passing through town or hanging around down at the Union Hall. Pessimist, Dave paused. At the very least, a militant skeptic. We both thought about that for a while, sipped, thought some more. Nellie came up in the background, slinging some hip-hop rhyme around the theme song from the 1970s television show, The Jeffersons. Narcissism, I said. How'd you get there? Nellie was using 4/4 time and a 6-beat per measure lyrical meter to remind us that when you're in the big leagues, fish don't fry in the kitchen and beans don't burn on the grill. Well, he didn't just bugger off quietly, did he? Dave said. He went right out and bought that tub and that candle. Hey, look at me. I'm going to walk the whole freaking world over with this tub and this candle. Only I can find this one honest motherfucker. That is if he even exists, which I, Diogenes with the tub and the candle, sincerely doubt. I'm the guy who's going to decide. Me, the decider. And you'll see me coming because I'll be the one with this tub and this candle. It was all about him. Diogenes wasn't about an honest dude. Dave and I are both products of the Monongahela Valley culture. It's a culture where a guy like Diogenes would more likely stop in the miners' club for a beer and a bump after his shift. He'd probably have a nickname like DG or Dog Knees or something. He'd say hey to the regulars when he came in, and Marge, who tends bar on Thursdays, maybe shoot some pool, have a pig's foot or a pickled egg, then quietly fuck off to locate an honest dude. No fuss, no fanfare, no tub, no candle. Maybe one day the folks down at the pub would notice Diogenes hadn't been around. Hey, you seen Dog Knees around lately? No, not for a while now. Anybody heard from him? Nah, heard he went off looking for somebody. Huh, know who? I dunno, man. Heard it had something to do with his last ex-wife. Damn, he still owes me $10. The truth is, if Diogenes had come from where me and Dave come from, he probably wouldn't have been any more optimistic about the outcome. Mon Valley folks can be a bit dour sometimes. He might have stopped by Bullard's Hardware, across from the drugstore, on the way out of town, maybe checked out the tubs and candles, wondered for a moment or two what all the fuss was about, maybe even thinking how cool it would be to have a tub and a candle himself. He might even think, whoa, wouldn't I look cool if I had a fucking tub and a fucking candle? But in the end, he would go quietly off on his quest, not drawing a lot of attention to himself. He'd probably start someplace closer, though, like maybe Charleroi. Fuck a bunch of honest men. God bless sugarcane and citrus, Dave said, standing and raising his glass, preparing to resume his quest. To truth and beauty, I said, raising my own. And to ice. We offered a salute, a sip, a pause. Dave looked off across the laguna. Bet those fuckers in the Ice Age got tired of ice after a while, he said. Probably couldn't give it away, I said. Different times. Dave ambled toward his launcher. Take it easy, my brother. Thanks for the juice, I said. Yeah, he said. Good luck with figuring out that bubblegum thing.